And the gravel, and I've got pea gravel in my driveway, and it's always headed downhill. And I'll take the tractor and I'll drag it back up, and down it goes again. It's got no choice about where it goes. Most importantly, it's got no choice of where it ends up. Now, limestone is not smooth. It's very jagged. It's very rough. Therefore, it holds its place. When you put that limestone down and you pack it in, it stays put. It has control. It has stability. So a church made out of cut stone, cut by the master, has control. It has stability. It can grow higher and higher and reach farther. But a church built on smooth stones, you can make a great big pile of them, but the least little wind, they're going to start shuffling off. And that probably well describes the average church today. We spend a whole lot of money and effort taking those rocks that slid off the top and throwing them back up there. And after every rain, after every controversy, after every conflict, we got to throw them all back up on that pile. And we spend all our time throwing those rocks back up on that pile, and no time being witnesses to the world. A lot of money, a lot of effort, a lot of disappointment, a lot of frustration. Whereas, if we'll let the Father shape us, make us into something more useful, more successful, than we build once, and that's it. We don't have to go back and repeat our steps. We don't do the same things over and over again. We're always moving forward and adding on and progressing. You know, I worked for state parks a bunch of years. I don't know if you've ever been in one of the state park campgrounds like at Grenada. Anybody been to the Grenada State Park? You remember those bathrooms? You know, we tried to tear one of those things down and like to broke a track hole doing it. The thing didn't look like it was nothing. But they were well built with block, heavy. And this wasn't the modern cinder block. This was true architectural brick. It was solid. Like they never got that thing down. Now, when a storm warning came at the state park, first thing I did, we got on the PA system in my truck, went to the campground, told the campers to get to the bathhouse. Because we knew that bad boy would withstand anything. You see, a church that's built solid like that, built by stones cut by the master, not smooth stones that are just worn out and worn away, it's a place of shelter. When storm hits the community, it's where everybody runs to. You don't want to be under that pile of rocks, of loose stone when the storm comes, because it's going to cave down on top of it. Same goes for your personal life. You don't want to be a smooth rock that gets pushed around with no control and no thought. And that's what this world is. Because it's never enough. There's not enough money. There's not enough possessions. There's not a good enough job. There's no satisfaction. You keep having to compromise yourself more and more to get more and more. And you're taking the places you want to be. Whereas, if you let Jesus break you and give you a solid side, you can hold your place. You got a little control. But then if you'll put yourself in His hands and let Him continue to shape you into the shape He wants you to be, then you can become something far more than you are now. Something successful. Something that brings happiness. Something that brings peace and contentment. Is that not what we all want? And we want it now. We don't have to wait till heaven. We can have it now. Might hurt a little bit at first. You got to take that breaking. But as He shapes, The more useful you become, the more peace and satisfaction you have with what you've got now. And anything else you gain is just gravy. You know, a simple rock may not seem like much, but when it's the cornerstone of the Louvre, when it's the cornerstone of a great cathedral, when it's a cornerstone of something that inspires and empowers me, then that rock is extremely useful. Laying out in the pasture, it's an obstruction. I'd have to pick them up and throw them out in my yard. But shaped and put in place by the hands of the master builder, you can become a part of something impressive, something that inspires people. And that something that inspires people can be Main Street Baptist Church in tiny little Goodman, Mississippi. If enough of us will let the Master shape us and quit letting life push us around.